Okay, welcome back to OB. Today we're joined by good friend Mr. Dylan Wilson. How are you?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. This is long awaited. We've been planning
I
this
know.
one for like 3 months now. And neither of us have been able to figure out how to actually get a podcast done. But um, yeah, dude, how's it going? What are you up to?
We got a few things kind of we've been focused on. Obviously, we have the core agency that we've been building for quite some time now. And then, yeah, in addition to that, we've been taking a few clients and, getting a little bit of equity in their businesses and, spending a good amount of time and attention on those companies. And that's kind of been the main focus as of recently.
Cool. So like kind of portfolio, holdco,
Hmm. Yeah.
dope. How did you end up there? Like what led you to working with agencies and then going, oh, I want like to actually be more involved in agencies and you know, I guess get back into the agency game? Were you ever out of it?
Yeah. I mean, like, it's funny. I had a Thanksgiving dinner yesterday and, like, my family never knows what the fuck I'm doing because they think it's like every time I have a Thanksgiving dinner, I'm doing something different. But really, I think like a lot of us in this space, like I think you just kind of like evolve over time,
Okay.
right? And so when I was younger, like I was super entrepreneurial. I had like, lemonade stands, all that stuff. When I was 12 years old, I launched my first business. It was called Dylan's Flying Tackle. I made like fishing lures and I would go fishing with them and
Let's
I would like
go.
post fish on Instagram of like the fish I caught with my lures and I would try and like sell to my
Still
followers.
still fishing to this day. I love it.
Yeah. And then like I actually never would have guessed that I would have gone down the agency road or anything like that. Right?
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh, like once I'm old enough and once I have my own car and stuff like that, like I'm probably gonna start like a home service business. Like I wanted to start like a landscaping company and like all that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
But I kind of just got into business before I had like a car and whatnot and could have easily started a landscaping company or something like that. And that was when
Yep.
I actually came across drop shipping. And
Mhm.
so I did drop shipping for a bit.
This is
Like I
like
think,
a
well,
classic entry point.
yeah,
So
yeah.
many
It's like
people
bought a
stumble across
course,
dropshipping.
bought a course. Like the guy in the course was like flexing his G wagon, and I was like, oh, this must work. Um, and so I did that for a while. I stopped doing that for about a year and a half, and it was like I was probably making about 4 or 5 grand a month, making a couple
Hmm.
$1,000s a month in profit. I just felt like it just felt unethical with what I was doing. Like, especially
Interesting.
with this strategy that I had, I found out that like the best people to buy and the biggest ROAS I could get was selling these like hair straighteners to women in Puerto Rico. But it would have like 3 month shipping times.
What's like what are they just like a really really hot demographic? Is this
I
hunting?
don't know. I don't know what it was. Like I had like this whole strategy that like you
How did
started
you
with
find
broad
Puerto Rico as a
because it would
as a
like
location to target?
I would launch ads and it would be like super broad,
Yeah,
right? And then what the strategy that I was told in the course is that what you did is you would launch broad and then you would just
then
look at all the
refine.
data
Yeah,
and then you would just keep getting narrower and narrower and narrower and narrower by demographic, by age, by location, by gender, like all that kind of stuff. And as I
yeah,
launched broad on this like hair straightening, like random bullshit products from AliExpress, as I narrowed it down, I ended up selling to, 40 to 50-year-old Puerto Rican woman these hair straighteners, and I had like 2 to 3 month long shipping times.
crazy,
And
crazy.
so then I ended up stop doing that. And then what I did is I'd always had a passion for like videography. So I actually had YouTube channels growing up. That was another thing I did. I had this YouTube channel. I got it to like 10, 15,000 subscribers just posting hockey content.
Is
And
that
picked up a,
is that your channel today, or is that a different one?
no,
Was that built off the back of hockey?
no. So I have a business one, but if you search up like Dylan Wilson personal or Dylan Wilson beyond the business or something like that, and then you scroll like way down, you'll see some of my old hockey videos that I made. Um,
Awesome! I cannot wait to see these. That's
Yeah, and
hilarious.
so from there, I was like, oh, well, I know how to do videography. Why don't I, offer to local businesses to do a like to make videos for them? And so I went on to like Facebook and Facebook groups and whatnot. Joined every face. Yeah, there we go. These are
Beautiful.
all the videos. Some of them got like a million. Like one of them got like a million views on a video that I
Yeah,
posted.
this is kind of killer. Might have
But
to start that back up.
yeah, no, for sure. Where was I at? So yeah, so then I went onto Facebook. I like DM'd every local business. I offered to make videos for free. I drove around for like 2 months, like just making free videos for everybody. I didn't know how to ask for money. I didn't know how to make money. I didn't know how to do anything. And then one time I was driving home from the gym. I got a call from an unknown number, and it was this lady on the phone, and she's like, "Hi, is this Dylan Wilson?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Oh, well, you did a really good video for my friend. How much would you charge to make a video for my med spa?" She had like this local med spa. And I like
Awesome.
panicked. I didn't know what to say. So I was like $200. And she was like, "Oh, perfect." And so then that was the first time I ever got paid for videography. And then from that moment on, I just did a ton of videography work, and then I started offering photography. Then I had clients say, "Hey, can you do social media as well?" And then I went down this road where I like did everything. So like for a while I had this like me and then like, 7 or 8 other like university students that I was like paying part-time. And we were doing like websites, Google ads, Facebook ads, like every sort of service and whatnot. And then as I learned more things, as I got better at business, I guess you could say, I learned the power of niching down, learned the power of,
Hmm.
getting good at a few small things. And over the last couple of years, we've kind of just been, niching down further and further, and it's kind of brought us to where we're at today.
I love it. Okay, crazy, crazy. So you didn't even mean to start an agency. You were just making videos for fun.
Yeah, like it started as like video. It started because I didn't like drop shipping. Like I just thought it was
Yeah,
unethical. And then I could do the videography thing because I actually started on Fiverr.
yeah.
And then by the time I was like out, stopped playing hockey, and I like had a car at this point, I was like
Hmm.
already making enough money with the videography that like I didn't want to like stop it to like go start a home service or like the
Right.
businesses that I originally thought I was going to start. Um, and so then, yeah, I just kind of kept running with it. And, 6, 7, 8 years later, however long it's been, we're still essentially doing a version of that.
So when did you hit your first 100K month?
2023,
Okay, cool. And how did that feel? Like
scary.
what happened? Really?
Yeah,
Why?
I was not like, it was not fun. I mean,
Really? What really?
yeah,
No way.
like,
The look on
it
your
was
face
not
is
fun. I was like
hilarious.
scared shitless.
No way.
Like,
What were you scared of?
all the feel, because I was like, yeah, sure, $100,000. I just made that. But
Uh-huh.
there's also like $100,000 of responsibility.
Sure.
And I've, throughout my entire business career, I haven't really had steady growth.
Hmm.
I've had plateaus, like extended plateaus, and
Hmm.
then boom.
Yeah.
And then extended plateaus. And then like I was stuck at like 5K a month for like a year. And then like with it, and then one time, like 6 weeks later, I was at 20K a month. And then I was
Right.
at 20K a month for like 2 years. And then within like a 6 week period, 100K a month.
What happened in those inflection points? Like, why did you grow so quickly? Like, how did you suddenly like quadruple a business in 6 weeks?
Usually it was just one thing that I learned how to do. Um,
So
the
was
ju-
it a matter of you just like continuing and learning and trying things and like
yes,
figuring out what was working and not working, and lots
yeah,
of things didn't work, and then suddenly one of them did?
yeah. Like the jump
Cool.
from like 5 to 20K a month was like finally learning how to actually make a good offer and run an offer and
Yeah.
acquire clients through cold email and ads and whatnot.
Yeah.
Um, the jump to 100K a month was when I learned how to build a value ladder and how to build an ascension ladder as opposed to just
Yeah.
having one offer.
Yeah.
And like those are two examples. But yeah, like,
Right.
all the stories that I've heard about when people hit their 100K a month and like how amazing it was, like I was so scared because I was like, we've just signed like 20 clients this month, whatever it was. They paid us, whatever the amount was,
Yeah.
right? And I was like, I got to fulfill for all of these people. I was like, I didn't sleep. I was so scared of like screwing up with a client. Like it was probably one of the most stressful periods in business. Even though I was making the most amount of money, I was more stressed than like I'd ever been before by a ton. Right. And then once
How
you
do you?
go through those contracts, and then once
Yeah.
you know that you can fulfill, and you know that you're not going
Hmm.
to get results for every client, right? And once you like,
Sure.
okay, but like now I know like, X amount are going to get results, and it's like you have the context, it gives you the
Yeah.
confidence, and then you can chill out a bit.
And you can basically figure out the math.
Yeah.
Like this is how many will be successful. I might need to refund 1 in 10 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. Cool. So what would you say like for people now in 2025? Like what are the biggest levers they should be pulling in their agency? Could you like make a top
Yeah.
three, top five?
100%. It's like find areas where there's no competition. Right? Like if I was to start an agency today,
Hmm.
unless I had a genuinely revolutionary product that nobody had ever seen before, I
Yeah,
would not touch real estate. I would not touch home improvement. Because it's
yeah.
like, think about it, right? Like, you're this kid, you're 20 years old, you got maybe one case study if you're lucky. You
Hmm.
basically have no idea what you're doing. And
Hmm.
so why would a real estate agent work with you versus the person that is spending, $50,000 on ads a month, has 150 case studies on their website? Like it's just such a harder battle to win, right? And
Right.
so the people that I've seen succeeding the quickest, especially if they're in the earlier stages, are the ones that are like, going into niches like agricultural land brokering, right? Like real estate, but real estate agents that specializing in buying and selling farmland,
Right, right,
because those guys have never seen an offer.
right. How do you find these niches? I think this is one thing that Alex, when he was on the podcast, was talking about, like selling wood.
Yeah.
I think you're very familiar with that model, but like, um, how do you come across that in the first place? Because like, I think when you're coming into the space and you see YouTube videos, it's just like Facebook ads, like
Yeah.
run Facebook ads for realtors, and like that's just an easy example to comprehend, maybe because
Well,
like
it's also easier
if you're new to
because
business, you know that like maybe you're only aware of like 5 to 10 different business models in the first place.
yeah, and it's also easier because you see people online doing it, and so from your perspective, oh, it's proven.
Right,
But I've never seen somebody online talk about how they scaled their agency that does cold email for people who buy and sell farmland. But
right,
that's exactly why it's a good thing to do.
right,
You take all the same
right.
philosophies and the same principles and offers and sales processes that you would to build a real estate marketing agency. You
Hmm.
just don't do it in a niche where they're so saturated unless you have a genuine competitive advantage over all of the other real estate marketing companies, which, if you're 20 years old and you're 3 months into your marketing agency, you probably don't.
Right. So you're fighting a more uphill battle, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. Um, do you have like so okay, like let's say I'm 2 months into my real estate marketing agency. I don't really have any clients yet.
Hmm.
Um, what and you're saying, hey, go and work in a less competitive niche. Like,
Yeah.
what should I do?
So, what I would do, especially if you're beginning, is like, first of all, go into ChatGPT and just tell it what you want. Okay. So, I want a
Yeah,
company, find me an industry or find me a type
yeah,
of business that has at least 50,000 of them, right?
hmm,
Has extremely high demand for for services that I can provide. There's very
hmm,
low agencies offering the services that I can provide. They have high
hmm,
purchasing power and could easily afford a $10,000 service, right? And then like just ask that to ChatGPT, turn on deep research. It'll give you like 15 to 20 of them, right? And then what you can do is you can ask it to table rank them based on all of the three, right? And then what will happen is you'll get like, them all ranked out, like, 1 out of 10 in competition, 5 out of 10 in nut volume, et cetera, et cetera. I just look at the top 4 or 5. And then if I'm working with somebody or doing this or anything like that, like, okay, which one are you most interested in? right? And then the
Easy.
second thing that I like to do, especially if you're earlier on, is ideally, especially if you're doing something like cold email or outbound or something like that, find an industry that you could get results for using the same systems that you're using to acquire them in the first place,
I think this part's really smart, actually.
right?
And nobody's mentioned this yet, but it's
Yeah,
such a great way to scale really quickly.
100%. Right? And because that's another thing too that I see people struggle with. It's like, okay, well, I'm running meta ads or I'm doing cold email to get clients, and then I'm setting them up on Google Ads, and I have
Hmm.
no idea how to run Google Ads,
Hmm.
right? But in the beginning, if I was to do a Google Ads agency, I would acquire my clients through Google Ads.
Right, right.
Meta ads agency, acquire clients through meta ads. So then you just build this, positive reinforcement flywheel of the better you get at acquiring clients, the better you get at service delivery, the better at service delivery you get, the better you get at delivering client, and it just, it's positive
1000%. Yeah, that makes total sense, and that's really smart. And I actually completely agree with you.
for
No
sure.
one's actually put that very well into words yet. Um, cool. What? Okay, so what about for people that are stuck at like higher revenue levels, or even like, I mean, yeah, like let's say someone that's stuck at 100K a month. What are they doing? How do you fix that once you get to that point?
Usually, from what I've seen, and for the companies that we've worked with, and for the companies that we've taken from that to, multiple $100,000 a month, like our clients and whatnot, usually the issue, and it was kind of people would be like, "Oh, wow," when I used to talk about this 6 months ago, a year ago. Now it's
Mhm.
kind of mainstream because
Mhm.
it's her most like it's the money models.
Sure.
Right? Like I think a lot of agencies they'll sell a one time, maybe it's a 5K pay in full for 3 month deal,
Yeah.
whatever the structure is, right? And they can get that to $100,000 a month, right? But then it's like maximizing lifetime value and cost, like then cost of acquisition starts to rise. And
Hmm.
if lifetime value isn't rising as well, right? We need to be pulling levers to reduce cost of acquisition, increase lifetime value. I think the best thing to do is to create an offer kind of like a fractionalized service, whatever that case may be, is that more or less funds your ad spend. Ideally, if you can return a 2x on the front end, that's great. Um, but the whole goal is to just, I'm running this. If it breaks even, that's fine. I'm using this
Yeah.
to break even and essentially wipe out my cost of acquisition and then
Yeah.
making money on the back end.
Okay. Super smart. I agree. That makes sense. What I'm curious. So after you like were scared shitless at 100K a month, then what happened? Like, are you still scared shitless today?
No, not
No.
today.
That's
I mean, I just spent 3 months being scared shitless and doing everything I possibly could to deliver.
yeah.
And like you figure it out.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Like you just,
Cool.
yeah, like eventually you kind of figure it out. And like, yeah, I've made a lot of mistakes in the past,
Hmm.
right? Like, of course, not many people talk about this, but like we have 1 star reviews, right? Like that happens,
Yeah.
right? But it's like, every time we've had a bad experience, it's like as long as you learn from them, it's okay.
Yeah. It's funny. I think for me, once we like crossed 7 figures a year in revenue, that's when I became like a lot more emotionally stable too.
Yeah.
I don't know if you experienced that, but then after it, it's like same, like you kind of start developing these mental models almost that let you experience problems, whether they're good or bad, and they're kind of you're kind of indifferent to them because you
Yeah.
see it all as the same thing. It's just like, oh, this is like another thing to improve, and every time I improve something, the business grows. Um,
Yeah, for
yeah,
sure. Right. And like your stress tolerance definitely grows as well.
yeah. What do you think your reaction to 1 million a month is going to be when you get there?
Probably the same thing as $100,000 a
Yeah,
month.
scared shitless for a bit. So maybe that stress tolerance hasn't grown enough yet.
We'll see what happens. But I mean, like, yeah, like that's always like, because the thing is that I've always done is like I have this in like all my SOPs, right?
Yeah.
Like for our team, and for everything, it's like everything is like act with the greater good of the company in mind.
Hmm.
And this is, I think it's from 48 Laws of Power and whatnot, but it applies to everything where it's like your reputation is the most valuable thing, so guard it. I forget the exact line it is in 48 Laws of Power, but that's how we operate on like um, with everything, right? And
Right.
so that's like I know that and I understand that, and like I think reputation is more valuable than anything because it a bad like I forget what Charlie Munger's quote is, but like a good reputation takes like 20 years to build and 5 minutes to ruin or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that's probably the main reason why I get so scared shitless when we like when things like that happen. And then also like maybe this is just a personal thing, maybe it's tied to ego or whatever. But for a lot of these companies that I've been running, especially over the last couple of years, I've been the face of them,
Yeah.
right? So much so that people don't even know the company that they're working with. They just know that they're working with Dylan,
Right. Right.
right? And so if things were to go tits up and things got, something very bad happened, it wouldn't necessarily be like, you know, my company is bad. It wouldn't be my co-founder. Like, it'd be like Dylan sucks, right? And then so that
Right.
I don't want to have to carry that onto future ventures or future things or whatever.
Right. So you're actually more concerned about it, or it's more important to you the bigger your reputation is
Yeah, I
maybe,
think so.
or like
Yeah.
the more your reputation grows, like
Yeah.
the more easy it is to ruin, or the more important it is to maintain. Well,
Yeah, because then you have like you also think too is like the bigger you get, the more people you have watching.
are you ever concerned about what happens when you have like 9 beers on a Friday night? Do you ever hop on YouTube?
I don't hop on YouTube. I do not touch YouTube. But it's crazy. It's like there's been videos where it's like, I'll make a video and I'll be like, "Hey, like, we did 150K last month."
Hmm.
Right? And then like 2 weeks later I'll make a video and be like, "Hey, so like, I'll be showing a dashboard or something, right? And like, here's 170K, here's 180K, here's 200, whatever the number is." I'll have people in the
Hmm.
comments being like, "Oh, this guy's lying. Like the last video he said he was at this," and like, you know what I mean?
That's funny. Yeah, I mean, I assume it's true, so they just don't maybe understand the math. Like, if you
Yeah.
sell to more customers, the
Yeah.
numbers go up. Um, Funny. Okay, cool. So, dude, that was great. Do you have any like parting words of wisdom for anyone watching?
I think the biggest thing that I've learned is like if you just don't, every problem is solvable. And so if you just don't give up, like eventually you will make it. There is a winning formula. You might figure it
Right.
out in a week. It might take 6 years to figure it out. The only thing that guarantees you don't figure it out is if you stop trying. And that's a big thing
Stay
that has
consistent.
kept me going through hard times.
Love it. Killer way to end off. Thanks so much for the time, dude. That was great.
Of
We'll do
course,
this
it's
again.
fun. Awesome. We'll chat to you soon.
We'll see you soon.
Okay, bye.